It's wonderful to be out here with you, Liz, on this beautiful fall day to walk around Hearn Plaza. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the invitation. It's wonderful to be with you.
So I know this isn't your first fall in the forest, right? And you've been here since 2015.
That's right.
So tell me what you're engaged in right now.
I teach our introductory course to Christian theology, and I also teach other electives in the Divinity School. I teach eco-theologies, bringing together faith and environmental justice issues. Right now I'm teaching a course in Latin American liberation theology. These are all courses that kind of bring together Christian faith traditions and questions of justice. How are people of faith to respond to major challenges in our world today?
How did you get interested in this area of scholarship and in teaching these particular topics?
I would say my interest stems from curiosity about how the Christian faith tradition has been used for a lot of harm and violence and injustice in the world, but also has been such a source of healing and hope and liberation for many people.
How do you see that playing out in your classroom? How do your students connect into that?
Well, it's very much the experience for many of them as well. And so they're coming to the classroom with backgrounds in Christian traditions. Some of them, very happily so, but others of them really wrestling with that tension and how their faith tradition has both nurtured them deeply and formed them as people, right, and has been very hurtful in many ways. In the classroom, we're really exploring deeply what does it mean to be human? Mm-hmm. How do we live well in this world? And how do we support the living of others well? And how do we do so in a way that doesn't place humanity on the top of a dominant hierarchy that then harms the rest of creation as well, the planet? And so we're exploring ways in which we can be better humans and be better for humanity. Right. My most recent book project was on land and environmental defenders. They're threatened, they're defamed, they're imprisoned, and ultimately some are assassinated for their work in defense of social and ecological well-being for their communities. Latin America certainly has some really major hotspots for this phenomenon. So I was researching this problem and was able to really connect with other folks on campus as well to learn from their expertise as an interdisciplinary project. I've really benefited from conversations with John Knox in the law school, for example, who came to talk to my class, or Miles Silman in biology, who works directly with affected communities in the Peruvian Amazon. And so those kinds of conversations have been really powerful for kind of informing my research. The best kind of work comes out of those kinds of partnerships, and we need each other, really. We can't do it alone.
I love it. That's wonderful. And what about the future? What are you thinking about in kind of the what's next?
One project that I started working on that I would like to see through is a critical dive into Mother Earth language. My early work was on motherhood and women's experiences of maternity and natality, and then more recent work, more specifically on Latin American communities. And in the book on land and environmental defenders, eco-martyrs, I discovered in that research a lot of language for nature and for the earth being centered around that maternal image of Mother Earth. But my background in feminist theology really brings a critical lens to that because of how it can reinforce gender stereotypes and can really feed into the way in which women, especially women of color, and the earth are both seen as kind of resources to be plundered or taken advantage of and exploited in various ways. So there's the critique, but then there are all these traditions, as I was doing my research for the Eco-Martyrdom book, that use the language of Mother Earth to really fuel their passion and commitment to defense of the environment. And I want to wrestle with that tension in this project.
You're weaving together again this interdisciplinary aspect and also really foundational aspect in the liberal arts, which I love.
For me, it's just really inspiring to look back and look forward and think, oh, all these students are having such a great impact in our world, pro humanitate, It's humbling and deeply satisfying and fulfilling to know that I've had a small part in that journey of theirs.
You just spoke so beautifully to our why. You know, why we're here, for our students and for them to go out into the world and really have a further impact. I've really enjoyed our conversation today. Thanks so much for coming out, Liz.
Thank you so much, President Wente. It's been a pleasure.